So you log in, and just like any other one, you're going to have to go into your sales orders. When in X3, you can actually create shortcuts on top to create those sales order. But since we don't have those shortcuts created, we're going to go through the navigation menu. Under navigation menu on your left hand side, there's going to be a section that's called sales. When you click on sales, it should preload the right screen for all of the possible options there. Once you're in that screen, you're going to look for the orders. Once you navigate to the orders, it should open up the order screen. And usually when this happens, it may already open up an existing order. So you have to ensure that you go ahead and actually open up a new order and take that payment based on the new order. We'll give it a minute here. It's been a little bit laggy today. Okay, so we're going to do all full entry. It's the selection that we're planning to do. Once we're in here, as I mentioned, the sales order will populate. Then on the right hand side, this is where we can see the order. For the sake of it, we're going to actually create a new order by clicking on this plus on the right hand side. So we're going to open up a new order. We're going to enter in our site name. For demo purposes, that is NA011. And then the sold to is going to be NA001. Once we have that set up, you go down, you scroll. If you were a client at this point, you would review all the information related to the pay by, customer, delivery, invoicing method, payment term. Payment term is where you're going to look for the credit card status. So let's see here. So this one defaulted to check 30, so this client usually pays with a check, but we're going to be doing a credit card. Once we do the credit card, we're going to go down. We need to add a product. Product that we'll actually be looking for today is going to be BMS 057, which is going to be a memory card. When you're in X3, you can actually use these toggles to filter through your different items. So we'll go ahead and put that number we just described, BMS 057. When you click that, it should filter it. We'll select it. Once selected, you do have to ensure you add a quantity in here. So for the sake of this demo, we might just put, 12. Then once you have all this information filled out, everything you were looking for, you're going to go ahead and hit the check mark, which is going to create the order. Once the order is created, give it a minute here. And usually what's going to come up is you're going to have a new pop-up come up, which is going to ensure what kind of payment method you want to use. So for example, for this one, we actually have our Save credit card for Paya. But if for one thing you wanted to go back and change it, you are able to select new card, which provides you the fields to go ahead and manually enter a card. So if you do new card, continue to do this piece, you're going to say you're going to put it manually. It's going to be a one-time payment. Under one time, have that information method. Then you're going to hit submit. When you do the new payment method, what's going to happen, it's going to create another yet window here. And this will actually allow you to enter those card credentials. Give it a minute here. My apologies. Seems that the internet may be going a little slow today, but we'll keep it moving here. Here we go. Let's rinse a little bit of issue, but now that you have on here, you can actually do one-time payment. You put the card number in. For this one, we'll use a test card. So enter an expiration month. Can be any expiration month as long as it's ahead of everything else. Hit submit, and then there we go. It had went through. You get this little tiny great message that shows you the payment method, but you can close it out. Once you have that, you can exit out of this screen. What this will do is it'll actually capture the transaction and the record that you created. Um, and if we go into credit card functioning, you can see the card has been authorized. So it hasn't been fully captured, it's just been authorized at this point. You'd still have to post the actual order and the invoice to get this fully captured and processed. So how do we go about doing that? You go delivery, and all you do is, if you were a merchant, you'd go back, verify that all delivery dates and everything that you used is correct. Once you can validate all the information, you're going to hit the validation button. The validation just means you're validating everything that's going on. So it's still coming up because it's still going through the card. As of right now, you're still on the authorization piece. You'll create this order into an invoice. The invoice will then go ahead and be created, as can be seen here on the screen. And once it's created, you can go back, look at it if you need to reopen the item. But for the sake of this, we're going to go ahead and actually post it. Once you post it, you actually fully capture that transaction. It goes through, and we can see here, I'll show you guys in a minute, when we go down through these three dots, we look at the credit card processing. You can see now that the new card that we entered in manually, which was a MasterCard, has now been captured, and that has now gone through the system. Likewise, if you go into your Pi Connect console, give me a second, you guys. Looks like so you'll actually go to this sandbox site. Once you're in production, it won't say sandbox, it'll be a production site. But what should happen in this point is that your transactions that you just performed should feed back into our Pi Connect as well. So let me share that here. I'll reset this password. Gonna go and take a look at this. Log in. Now that we're in here, we can go look at our account vaults. So it'll show us all the transactions that have happened recently. And as you can see here, we had the transaction that ended in 5454, which was the card that we have just used. You can click on that payment here. You can see that it was done in our demo account. And if we go into our dashboard, you can also see all the information here. Go to transactions under reports. We can look for today. We can see the transaction we just did for the payment of those memory cards. We can also get a copy of the receipt here that can be seen. You can see all the information as well, when off, the auth code, all those great data. We can actually re-email this receipt from here if we needed to. We could void it for some reason we needed to void it. Then as well, you can open it using the second button to look at all these great details into one separate page. You can run again. You can link it to a contact if you had a contact, or you could even save the payment method. So that's one of the great things about doing an order, a way how to utilize both the Pi Connect plugin for X3, and then how to view that on our Pi Connect UI.